What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. I don't know why I'm showing the bronze pack, pointless really. Anyways, welcome to the episode. First things first, let's hit a thumbs up on this video. Remember a couple episodes I said to you guys, if you're active, just drop a like to see how many people just like the video kind of thing. Wait, why are we 4 wins? Did I only show 4 games in the last episode? I must have only showed 4 games in the last episode. Tell me I didn't do things wrong. Anyway, that video got like crazy thumbs up. This one doesn't have the ultimate pack, right? Right, yeah. So this is the right thing to look at. So we went 4-0, guys. 4-0 in our first 4 games, and this is the team we're looking at right now. And yeah, I mean, I'm having an indifferent weekend with Foot Champs. I don't understand, man. I don't understand why some weekends I just feel good and the game feels clean and I feel like I'm doing good things, and some weekends it doesn't. But this weekend was a tough weekend. I haven't even finished my games yet at the time of recording this. It's Sunday at 4 o'clock and I've still got 12 games left. I don't even know how many games I show you in today's episode, but I think I show you 11. I think we take this up to 15 games played. But in general, man, I'm just I'm not enjoying the weekend league as much as previously, and that's weird for me because the prizes, the rewards, I love, but the 40 game weekends, they're just starting to get on top of me, you know. I was actually a little bit disappointed that the weekend league was going ahead. Now, I actually made a huge error in this game, just looking at myself going into the game there. I didn't put fitness on my team, which was just a mistake. I'm using 2 teams for the simple fact that I now will use fitness cards when required on the 3 players that I'm using in both teams, and then there is no excuse to not have 99 fitness on every other player every other game. And I was just looking right there and I had like 92 fitness on Modric and stuff. Not that that will be like a huge difference, but hey, you know, neither here nor there. But anyway, yeah, the 40 game weekends are really just starting to get on top, you know. Last weekend, no weekend league because it was cancelled, and I was actually quite happy it was cancelled. It was nice to have like a weekend's break. And this weekend, I expected it to be cancelled. By the way, that is not a penalty. That was a great tackle. Go rewind that 10 seconds and watch that, or watch it here anyway. Look at that. I win the ball, then he falls over the foot. Doesn't matter that he fell over the foot after I won the ball, because I won the ball. Really upset with that. That's disappointing, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the result, does it? Yeah, the weekend league, 40 games, is just too much. It's too much. It just dictates people's lives to the point where they don't have a life. You know, I know a lot of people don't even play 40 games. A lot of people play 10 games or 15 games or 20 games. But I think EA should reduce the number of games played to 30 or 25 like PC. Like PC would be great. 25 would be great. Also, guys, if you can hear the rain outside, soz. Anyway, a whole bunch of comments from yesterday's video. Some really good comments, and look at this team, right? Look at this team. 92 chemistry. It's not bad players, but look at the chem styles. He's got basic on Dybala, who's a lone Dybala. He's got catalyst on Higuain. He's got basics all over the place. He's got a really slow defense. I honestly came into this game, you know, I'm 4-1 now. I came into this game thinking, brilliant. Easy game, easy life. This guy was unreal. He was so good at FIFA. Look at that. He's just picking me apart. Boom, gets the goal. He was really good. It must have been a situation where he's a very good FIFA player and has either just come onto Xbox off a PlayStation, or he's just started Ultimate Team for the first time ever. Or you know, maybe he just likes playing with weird low-chem teams. I don't know. But he was good, man. This was a tough game. We lost narrowly in the last game. You know, I felt like a few things went against me in that game, and FIFA's like that. FIFA's going to go against you sometimes. But one of the things that just kind of irks me is, like I say, like some weekends I feel like I'm on fire and I'm on form. And my biggest problem, even now, and I've been saying this for months and months and months, my biggest problem is me getting inside my own head. I'll take one loss that I think was undeserved. Whether or not it was deserved or undeserved is irrelevant. It's whether or not I think it's undeserved that's relevant. If I think I didn't deserve to lose a game that I lost, I will go into the next game with a chip on my shoulder. and that will dictate how I play for the rest of that gaming session. So what I really need to do is not only stop letting things bother me, because things go wrong in FIFA. Hey, it's FIFA. It's a video game. It doesn't make a difference. It's a video game. But what I need to start doing is when I take a loss, I need to just stop playing for 30, 45, 60 minutes. Just stop. But the biggest problem is, like my weekends are so jam-packed anyway, I don't have time. Like I set aside sessions to play. Like tonight I'm going to play from 10 until my games are done. So I've got 12 games. That might take me until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, depending on rage quits or extra time and penalties. You know, you'll typically get in 3 to 4 games an hour. So 12 games will take me anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, potentially 2 hours if I get a few early rage quits and stuff. But let's say it's worst case scenario and it takes 5 hours. I can't at that point just take an hour break off of a loss, you know, because it's like I'm busy up until the point where I can play. So then I have to force all my games into that one session. So I have to try and play through the bad spots. And I'm terrible at doing that. You know, I'm terrible at letting go of the small stuff. And I've really got to work on that with myself. And it will help me get better. It will help me become a better FIFA player if I can just water off a duck's back. Oh, you lost to a crappy goal? Don't worry about it, man. You get him next game. I just got to learn that, man. I got to learn that, and I don't. And it frustrates me that we're this deep into FIFA now. You know, we are nearly 4 months into the game, or about basically bang on 4 months into the game. We're a third of the way through the FIFA cycle, and I still let the little stuff get the better of me. It's frustrating. But anyways. Joe Hart says, "Hey Nep, just wanted to give you a tip that it may be Dele Alli who gets Player of the Month. So I think investing in a bunch of Kanes and Ericssons whilst the market is down might be a smart move. I think there'll be a Spurs, England, rivals, and maybe a Premier League again. Just a tip." And I don't disagree that Dele Alli may well get Player of the Month. I think it's actually between like Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Christian Eriksen, potentially Alexis Sanchez. I think those are the main candidates. I could obviously be wrong. Like it's just off my opinion. But whether or not he wins is one thing. But when he wins, what EA do is a completely different thing. What you've got to remember is we've been getting some really difficult ones because we've got some high-rated players. You know, we've got Costa, Ibrahimovic, and Hazard. Really high-rated, really tough sells. But if Dele Alli wins, it'll be likely an 85 or an 86 rated card. It won't be overly difficult to complete. You know, just like the Son and the Sterling one weren't crazy expensive, Dele Alli won't be crazy expensive. I would love a Dele Alli Player of the Month card, by the way. I want more midfielders and defenders so that I can fill up my team and just have a full BPL, you know, untradeable special card team. But what EA have done traditionally this year is go completely against the odds of what people are expecting. So you expect it to be, you know, for it to be Ericsson or Kane, a Spurs team, a rivals team, so like some London clubs. And when EA realised that you expect that, they just change it. They just do something completely different. You know, where I think for Hazard, people went and got a lot of Lille players, a lot of players from like the French league, because you know he used to play for Lille, he used to play in the French league, so they thought they'd do one like that because they did the same thing for Heung-min Son. And EA did something completely different to that. They did a Belgian team requiring 2 Belgian informs. Who saw that coming? No one saw that coming. So whilst you may well be right, like investing, like in my mind, for Ibrahimovic, investing in Ibrahimovic was a smart idea, like his regular gold card. But my gut, like whilst my gut was saying just buy some Ibras, it'll be a smart thing to do, my head was saying don't be an idiot. There's no way EA are going to make you trade in an actual Ibrahimovic for a Player of the Month Ibrahimovic. And guess what? Ibra's price went from 300k to 900k, and I had about 1.6 million at the time, so I could have bought just 3 of them, and I would have potentially made 1.82 million coins. That's enough to buy the Sergio Ramos that I'm missing, and another superstar player. And I didn't follow my gut instinct, and it cost me. So I would just say, if you want to go and invest in those players, feel free. But I would do it with caution, because EA are renowned this year for trying to stop people from being able to heavily invest and basically manipulate the market. And one of the other biggest problems is now that because people are over-investing, when the time comes for the player to be sold, they're getting dumped so heavy that it's actually driving the price down. You see it with the 83s and the 84s recently for the last SBCs. The 83s and the 84s, so many people bought them that their prices actually go. So many people now hoard the bronze and silver cards and stuff, waiting for SBCs, waiting for their moment to sell, that they actually ruin the opportunity of investment. You know, the most recent SBCs, the league ones, they don't have value anymore. You know, the Russian League one, you could do it for like 80 or 90,000 coins. Compared to how many packs you get back and the coins you get back and stuff, it's really, really cheap. There's the odd player here or there that's just randomly rare, like extinct or whatever, and that's fine. But in general, I think over-investing is a bad thing at this stage in FIFA. So I would be wary if you do it. Harambe Dicks out for Harambe. Great name. Brilliant name. How do I get the Lunar Pack? The Lunar Pack was awarded to people based on how many days they logged into Ultimate Team. Upon releasing the Lunar SBC and such, there was 125 completed days of FIFA 17, and you had to have logged in a minimum of 111 of those days to receive the best pack. That could have been through console, through web app, or through companion app. So there's no real reason to not do it. So if you didn't log in 111 times, you didn't get the big pack. And there was 5 tiers of packs. Tier 1 was just the kit, and that was just for logging in up to like 20 times or something. I can't remember exactly. There was Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, and Tier 5 was the best pack, obviously. A lot of people didn't get it. A lot of people, like I see some people just messaging me like, "Oh, I didn't get it. I've logged in more than 111 times." It's not about the number of times you logged in. It's about the number of days you logged in. And for a lot of people who just don't play FIFA that much, they didn't get the pack. And this is exactly what we want from EA. This is what we've been lobbying for. Rewarding the people that just play the game. Again, I don't necessarily agree with the method behind generating the reward. But you're saying to someone, whether or not you're a good FIFA player or a bad FIFA player, whether or not you played in Foot Champs or you're a trader of the game or whatever, if you've logged in 111 of the 125 days, you are entitled to a free 125k pack. And that, for me, is what it should be about. I don't think they're giving you a 125k pack after 111 days. That's crazy. Like that's a lot of days logged in for one untradeable reward that ultimately is going to generate not a lot. But again, it's a step in the right direction. I feel like EA are moving towards the right way. You know what I mean? They're gearing up towards doing the right thing, which you can't be mad about. You can't be mad about. They're not going to get it right straight away. You know, this is going to take some time. So, but it's a step in the right direction. Krushti says, "Hi Nep. Firstly, love the series. Thank you very much. Do you think SBC cards should be available in draft?" Yes, I do. Artur Razuciek says, "Hey Nep, one quick question. How can I watch a stream back? Love watching your long videos while working in my office. Kind regards, Arthur." Arthur. You can just go to twitch.tv/NepentheZ. At the top of the screen, there'll be a little tab. One of those tabs will say videos. Click on videos. Boom. Watch the stream and have fun with it. Hadi Amuri says, "Hey Nep, why don't you save the training cards and have unlimited ones which allow you to use them every game instead of discarding them? Thanks for the great content." And what he's talking about is the bronze pack. I save all of the individual player training cards and the other training cards as well, because I can use 10 per game, right? I think I've got like 500 outfield player training cards. I can use 10 per game, so over the course of 50 to 60 games, I'll use them all up and they'll be gone. And that's doable. But the goalkeeper ones I discard because I have around 700 goalkeeper training cards, and you can only apply one goalkeeper training card per game, which means it will take me 700 games to get rid of the goalkeeper training cards. And first of all, I always forget to put the training cards on, and second of all, if I just kept storing them, I'd eventually have so many to the point where I don't have enough games to play throughout the year to be able to use them all. So I might as well get the 3 or 4 or 5 whatever coins they're worth, extra coins back for them. For the goalkeeper ones specifically, I should probably just not save any of them except the +3 goalkeeper ones, the all +3s, because I've got so many of those anyway. I think there's like 80 of those, that by the time I got through those 80 games, I would have probably picked up another like 20 or 30 of them. And the more bronze pack methods you do, the more you get, the more training cards you get. But I'm always wary about using training cards in the games. Like some of these games I put training cards on, some I haven't. And the reason why I do sometimes and don't sometimes is literally just because of the reaction it gets. Some people seem to still be like, you know, just assume that you're just a bad person, essentially. Like, you know, you're an anti-FIFA player for putting attribute cards on. And I do see that. I've got a good team. Like the attribute cards, they don't really make that much of a difference. They're bronze ones, they're +5s, you know what I mean? Like, it's not huge. It's like most of the time I do it to boost stats that are just weak on a player. For example, for Hazard, I will boost his physical. And the reason why I boost his physical is because the +5 bronze physical training card actually gives +7 because of my coaches. So I get +7 physical on him. I think he's got 68, so that puts him up to 75 physical. But what the most important thing that does for me isn't the strength, isn't the aggression, and isn't the jumping that it boosts from that category. It's the stamina. The stamina for me is the most important, and it actually gives +9 in-game stamina. So the player of the month, Hazard, who has... Let's go and have a look on Foothead how much Hazard has for stamina. Because Hazard is one of the ones for me that always runs out of stamina. I have to sub him off a lot. So he has 78 stamina. And because I use him a lot, because I use the wings a lot, I end up running out of stamina with him by 60, 70 minutes. So if I'm in a tough game, he always comes off the field. If I'm in an easy game, he'll stay on. But if I'm in a tough game, he'll come off. So that extra 9 stamina points that I give him bumps him to 87 stamina to the point where I don't actually have to take him off. So the reason why I give someone like Hazard a physical attribute card is because it just allows me to not have to sub him off at any point during the game. Which is like largely beneficial, but I still get some, like, if I use attribute cards, I get people misinterpret attribute cards. You know, when I use a team like this and I put the bronze attribute cards on, it doesn't change much. You know, it boosts the player so minimally and only in one category as well. It's not like it's not like I'm boosting them in like huge categories. It's not like I'm giving everyone the gold +10 card. But the stigma that comes along with it, people just assume that you're using full gold attribute cards. Even if they see bronze attribute cards, they're like, oh my god, they assume that they're the full bronze attribute cards rather than the individual ones, because you can't tell the difference. And it makes people play different, man. It makes people play different. The amount of messages I get, even like I on the other team, not this team, on the other team, I used Depay. Sorry, I used Martial, Lacazette, and Hazard as my 3 attackers, and they all had 7 chem each. I think Lacazette maybe had 8 chemistry. So what I did is I put an attribute cards on them to counterbalance the lack of chemistry, right? So I thought, you know, okay, I've got Hazard's usually on 10 chem, now he's on 7 chem. Let me put a shooting attribute card on him. It'll like kill the imbalance of chemistry versus attributes. And just 3 players. That's all I put bronze attribute cards on. 3 players, and I think it was just shooting, and shooting. That was all it was. And the messages I get afterwards, like, oh my god, you need attribute cards to it. It's just like, sometimes it's just not work. Like, you know, it takes me an extra minute or 2 to put the attribute cards on. They don't change the game to the point. Like, if you would have given me my team with attribute cards versus my team without attribute cards, I probably wouldn't actually notice the difference, because they are bronze ones and they don't make much of a difference. But they just come along with a really negative stigma. But I will use them when I remember to use them, just because they're there and they help. Even if marginally, they help. Trick Tube says De Jong actually wasn't the top scorer of the Dutch league. It was Janssen from Tottenham. But like yes, you're right. But it further goes to my point of explaining exactly how the system works with Ibra and Lacazette. Ibra was the top scorer in League One. He went to the Premier League, so Lacazette got the SBC. Janssen was the top scorer in the Dutch league. He went to the Premier League, so De Jong got the SBC because De Jong was the second top scorer. That was my point, my case in point. Kyle Hitchcock Powers says, "Hey Nep, enjoying the vids and thank you very much." He says, "Do you think that players' performance stats are overvalued? I feel like people are quick to judge cards based off of goals and assists, when in reality that card will be contributing a lot for the player and helping to win games, even if it doesn't show up on board." Yeah, dude. I think for me personally, my attackers, I like the, not even goals. For me, it's goals and assists for attackers. Like, if they've got a goal to game contribution that's quite high, a goal contribution to game record that's quite high, I'll be happy. Especially because with Foot Champs now as well, you know, we substitute a lot of players a lot of the time. So for me, I sub off Hazard a lot, as I just explained, for the reason that his stamina levels are pretty poor. If I didn't sub him off ever, he would probably have scored more goals and have had more assists, but I probably would have lost more games because of, you know, trying to force him to stay on the field tired, would have lost a little bit more. But what you're saying is ultimately right. You know, it's a shame that people will look at the goals of a striker and be like, oh my god, this guy's bad, or this striker's bad, or whatever, because there are so many more important things in FIFA, in football, than, or not more important things, because goals and assists are pretty damn important, but there are as many more important things in FIFA as you would like to see. You know, that like passes, key passes, chances created, crosses, pass succession, tackle rate, headers won. Like there is a lot of stuff that we would like to see in this game to help us decide whether or not a player is good. And you know what's really weird? I was playing clubs with Bateson and Marshall the other day. Clubs tracks that sort of stuff. Clubs tracks the amount of shots you've taken, the amount of goals you've scored. It tracks your passes, your pass success rate. It tracks a lot of extra stats that Ultimate Team doesn't track, and that's pretty sad. I would love to see more stats. We've got Mohammed Abdallah says, doesn't that mean that Suarez should get an SBC? Again, talking about the league SBCs. Yes, it does, yeah. Kane should be England's one, the EPL. Suarez should be Spain's. I believe it is Higuain that is the Calcio A one. And Bundesliga is it Lewandowski or is it Aubameyang? It'll be Lewandowski or Aubameyang. So yeah, I expect those SBCs, but they're super high rated players, to the point where you'll expect them to come super late in the year when that high rating of a card for that player isn't actually impressive. You know, like Luis Suarez, what does he have, a 92 base card? Or is it a 93 base card? I can't remember. He's got already in form. He's got already a 98 team of the year. He'll undoubtedly get a 97 team of the season. So his SBC will probably be a 94. But by the end of the year, if and when EA release that 94 Suarez, or 95 Suarez, or 93 Suarez, or, you know, they could release it as a 92 Suarez, like, at that point in time, it might be a Suarez that isn't actually that valuable overall, you know. That's my opinion anyway. Lashy Stiffy says, Nep, I'm starting to think that chem styles are not as relevant as we think they are. I put a Hunter on Fekir, played 5 games, then put on a Catalyst, played 5 games, and then I put on a plus 10 pace attribute card on him and could instantly notice a difference. Well, I mean, this is something that's going to be relatively confusing for people to understand real quick, but let me explain to you why that is. So Fekir with basic chemistry, I'm going to assume you had him on 10 chem in a 100 chem team, okay? So Fekir with basic chemistry style, which is obviously what you were playing on before you applied a chemistry style, actually gets a pace increase. He gets 5 acceleration because basic isn't nothing. It's also a boost. So he goes up to 87 acceleration and 83 sprint speed. You said then you put on a Hunter and played 5 games. Well, a Hunter chem style boosts him up to 95 pace, so 97 acceleration and 93 sprint speed. You then said you put a Catalyst on him for 5 games. Well, Catalyst is exactly the same pace boost. So you're not going to notice a difference between Hunter and Catalyst in terms of pace, because it is exactly the same. You then said you put a plus 10 pace attribute card on him and can instantly notice the difference. Well, of course, because you're boosting him to 99 pace at that point. No matter what chemistry style you've got on him, he's going to basically 99 pace, especially if you've got the coaches and stuff. So pace isn't only about pace. Pace is about dribbling. Agility, balance, and reactions are interpreted in pace, and also stamina is interpreted in pace. And the reason why you wouldn't have felt much of a difference is because it's not about acceleration. Like when you put a Hunter on him, he goes up to 97 acceleration, but he only has 93 sprint speed. The difference between 93 sprint speed and 83 sprint speed on basic chem style isn't that much. It's not that they're not as relevant as we think they are. It's that people over anticipate what the difference actually is. So somebody did an experiment. I can't find it. I looked for it before the video. I can't find it. Somebody did an experiment in the terms of the different paces, and when they had a player, I think, on 80 pace and a player on 90 pace, and run them from one part of the field to another part of the field, and the difference was tenths of a second, because that's all the difference is. People assume that an 80 pace compared to a 90 pace player, the 90 pace should just blow them out of the water. Oh, he's got 90 pace versus 80 pace, but it's not as simple as that. Acceleration is important, sprint speed is important, balance, agility, reactions, and stamina is important, and then of course, carrying the ball or not carrying the ball is massively important. If you are carrying the ball, you are infinitely slower straight away just because you are carrying the ball. So yeah, it's not that. I actually made a post on Reddit about it. Maybe I'll link the post down below because I think it's an important read. It's not that they don't do what they say they do. They actually exactly do what they say they do. It's just that I personally feel like people misinterpret how much boost they think that it should give. And, you know, that's obviously just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's where it's at. Sotiri Phyllis says, "Hey Nep, I can't go online, so what should I do what would you do if you didn't have online?" I honestly would play a different game. I would play Football Manager or just a story-based game rather than an online specific kind of multiplayer game. That is exactly what I would do. So this is pretty much the end of the video here, guys. I end up drawing this game or pulling this game back. I conceded a silly goal. You know, he got a throw in. I intercepted the ball. It bounced back to him. He scored. That's whatever. Then I conceded that penalty there in the 114th minute. It was the AI was controlling Eric Bailly. I explained it in the last video. You know, it was a tough game. It was a close game. It was just a really frustrating way to lose. To see that the AI controlled Bailly had fouled him in the box when I had possession of the ball. Gave up the free kick, the penalty, he scored it, and that was the end of the game. And as I said before, it wasn't a guaranteed fact that I would have gone on to win the game anyway. He may well have created another chance in the 120th minute and scored. He may well have gone on to win on penalties. I was just very salty that an AI mistake was the decision in a game. I don't mind AI mistakes, generally speaking. Like, I can deal with the AI making errors for me, just like I can deal with the AI making errors against me. There was one game a while back where I got in behind with Eden Hazard because the AI decided to try and leap for a header when the ball was low, and then Hazard just ran around and got the ball and scored the goal. So in that instance, you know, like it comes and goes, it gives and takes. But the biggest problem for me is, like, when you're winning or losing by a margin and the AI error comes into play, it's easy pill to swallow because, like, hey, I was losing anyway, it doesn't make a difference. When it is literally that late and the deciding factor in a game, it's a tough pill to swallow, man. But anyway, this is going to be the end of the video for today, guys. If you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.